When you train somebody to lie, encourage them to lie, make it legal for them to lie, and then pay them to lie, then you can expect them to lie every single time. This is another investigation into the DUI arrest going on just in one state, the state of Tennessee. And remember, it's very, very easy to arrest and charge an innocent person, especially when you have something called qualified immunity. Listen to this.
You've got to see. It shows state police wrongfully arresting 7 innocent people for a crime they didn't commit.
7 sober drivers charged with DUI arrested by different troopers in different parts of the state.
It's the latest discovery in Chief Investigative Reporter Jeremy Finley's sobering problem investigation.
Go ahead and step on out of the car and we're going to have a conversation, okay?
On the evening of June 23rd, Stephanie Fair was about to find out she was in double trouble.
There's a very distinct odor of alcohol that comes from either a person or inside the vehicle.
Right.
Okay.
I understand, but I on my life, I don't drink alcohol. I just ate.
When he started asking me about drinking, I instantly got this feeling in my stomach, like this is bad.
And it was. She'd been pulled over for failing to move over, something the state trooper was not pleased about.
She almost hit me when I was wrapping up the traffic stop. I come up to the car and it just reeks of alcohol. How's she doing the test?
Guys, this is why you need a dash cam. Front facing, rear facing, cab facing. You need a 3-channel dash cam. Do not put your life in the jeopardy of these cops. Always record what they do. They are not your friends. They smell blood in the water. Even if there is no blood in the water, they'll pretend there's blood in the water so that they can nab you and bring you into the boat. They are going on a fishing expedition and they don't care about justice. They don't care about peace and they don't care about highway safety. What they care about is putting marks on the board back at the department so they can get a pat on the back, a plaque on the wall, and a promotion. That's all they care about. Period.
You can see it in her eyes.
He clearly states
Yeah.
he could smell the odor of alcohol beverage.
Yeah, that, when he said he could smell it, I know this is corrupt. This is completely wrong.
Place your hands behind your back.
Why?
Because you're being placed under arrest for DUI.
But I don't. But wait.
Ma'am?
Why? But I haven't drank anything. But I don't.
And look at this. And there's nothing you can do. There's nothing. If you fight back, you're going to get slapped with an additional charge. So we have this learned helplessness, this victim mentality, where we're just standing there on the roadside and these road pirates are just picking us off one by one. This is not a just society. This is infuriating. This is injustice. And when injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty. These guys are psychopathic parasites feeding off of the rest of us, and it really has to stop.
And she was right. Not only did her blood work show she had neither alcohol nor drugs in her system, her attorney got video of where she'd been before being pulled over. That's her getting ice cream.
I'm sorry. I was more scared being with that cop alone than I actually was inside the jail. I was terrified.
Candace.
Not only that, okay, so not only do they stop you, cuff you, humiliate you, kidnap you, now they're going to fingerprint you and throw you into a rape cage where you will be body cavity searched with further humiliation by a bunch of perverts running a jail. It's disgusting.
Late can sympathize.
It's hurting to do that on my knee.
After her car flipped in an accident, a state trooper asked her to do a field sobriety test, clearly in pain. She doesn't do well.
From the counsel of thousands of attorneys and ex-cops who are willing to tell the truth, do not, for God's sake, for your own protection, for your own safety, for your own sanity, for your own freedom, do not do a field sobriety test. They are designed to make the participant fail.
I know I bombed it. I mean, I was in shock.
Go ahead and put your hands behind your back under arrest for dominant influence.
What?
I thought, oh my God, I'm going to lose my daughter, who I can't lose her. I can't lose my license. I mean, this is my life.
Several $1,000s paid to an attorney later, she got her blood work. No alcohol. Her level of prescription medication so low, the charge of DUI was dismissed.
And it is your life. While the toxicology report is coming back, which can take as much as 8 or 9 months, you could lose your job, you could lose your kids, you could lose your license, now you can't drive. There's so many things. Your life can literally be ruined by one cop who is just out there to put points on the board.
I ended up broke, trying to prove my innocence. I won. It was dismissed, but I'm terrified to drive now.
It also happened.
And that's the goal. They want you terrified because fear is a technique of control. They want you to be afraid. They want your heart to just beat out of your chest when they pull behind you, whether they have their lights on or not. They want you to be fearful because if you're fearful, you can be put into a place where you're easier to control. That's exactly what they want. They want you scared of driving.
Labrisha Beatty,
it has had a traumatic impact on me.
an employee of NASA, a state trooper charged her with DUI in Giles County. Her blood work later showed she was completely sober.
There is a real issue. There is an issue in Tennessee.
And it turns out state troopers didn't just wrongfully arrest these three women. They also arrested Reed Hawley and Henry Esslinger and Keith Von Susten and Thomas Manis, all arrested for DUI, whose blood work later showed they were sober enough to drive. But those are just the cases of drivers that we found. Turns out there is no data of who's making the false arrests. You may recall, we obtained TBI data that shows 609 people in Tennessee have been arrested for DUI in a 7-year period, whose blood work came back showing they were completely sober. But the TBI tells us they don't keep track of which police agencies are making the arrests.
Well, of course they don't, because it's the thin blue line wall of protection. So before we finish with this, what should happen to these cops? Every single one of them who are caught lying about somebody and ruining their lives and arresting them and taking them out of society for no freaking reason, at the very minimum, they should lose their job and their credential to be a police officer. They should never work in the police force on any department ever again. Number two, they should pay every single person. It should come out of their pension. It should come out of their benefits. They should pay every single person every last penny that they took for them, plus their time, plus the humiliation. And number three, they should all go to jail for a minimum of 12 months, in my opinion. And then this will stop.
When you look at just the sheer numbers of people, it's clear that we need to do something differently to make sure that this does not continue to happen to anybody.
Something's wrong, and somebody's not following the proper standards.
We took our findings to Matthew Myatt, a DUI detection expert in Atlanta. His advice to the state's police agencies?
Establish an independent commission to determine the cause. Whether it's training, whether it's bad officers, whether it's a misunderstanding of the proper procedures, whatever the state of Tennessee needs to do to fix this problem, they need to take affirmative, positive steps immediately.
It's not just Tennessee. This is happening in every state in the United States, and we know what the problem is. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. When a person gets a uniform, I don't care how good of a person they were before they put on that uniform, before they signed on the dotted line, before they joined the police department, they become a corrupt, power-hungry individual who knows that they can control other people, and those people that they're controlling can do nothing about it. They're powerless. So these cops actually become predators. That's why we call them road pirates. That's why we call them psychopaths. That's why we call them insane and unjust and the injustice system. They're just nothing but parasites bleeding off of the rest of us.
Okay, Jeremy, so many questions after seeing these videos. I want to go back to the first woman we met in your story. Why did the trooper say he smelled alcohol when the driver was sober?
Yeah, Lauren, for 3 days now, we've been asking for an interview with the Highway Patrol to ask those kinds of questions. A spokesman for the THP says they are continuing to review our findings, and we continue to press them for an interview. It remains unclear, bottom line, why the trooper said he smelled alcohol. Stephanie Fair says she didn't have any perfume on, she hadn't used hand sanitizer, and the trooper ultimately found no alcohol in her car. Marius?
Wow, Jeremy, please continue following these stories.
And these
cops video you've got to see.
These cops know that these stories are being made on them. They know that the public is watching. They know that even local media is watching them and try to hold them account. And yet they continue to commit their roadside piracy operations anyway. They're not serving and protecting. They are harassing and collecting. We all know this. And the only remedy is for them to be severely punished anytime any of them does this to a member of the public. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comments section below, and I will see you in the next video.